Pause the video and try these 3 problems, then check your answer on Schoology. Welcome back. So mathematicians do not like to leave radicals in the denominator. We talked about that some before. So in order for a radical expression to be simplified completely, we must clear the radical out of the denominator using a process called rationalizing the denominator. To rationalize, multiply the numerator and denominator by the radical that is in the denominator. I always like to try and simplify as far as possible before I'm multiplying. So I have 3 square roots of 3 divided by the square root of 2. I cannot simplify that square root of 2 or square root of 3, and they will not simplify. They can't be divided into each other. So I'm going to multiply numerator and denominator by square root of 2. So remember, outside times outside, inside times inside. So we're going to be left with 3 square root of 6. A square root times a square root. The square roots go away, and just with 2. We could also say it's a square root of 4, which we know is 2. There's nothing else to simplify. There's my answer. For number 2, I like to try and simplify first. So I can simplify outside. 15 divided by 3 is 5 square roots of 5 over square root of 7. I cannot simplify the square roots. Don't want the square root in the denominator, so I'm going to multiply top and bottom by square root of 7. You have 5 square roots of 35 over the square root of 49, which is just 7. Just remember, square root times square root. If it's exactly the same underneath, they cancel out. For 3, I could multiply top and bottom by square root of 12, but I can simplify that square root of 12. So I'd like to do that first. So I have square root of 7 divided by square root of 4, square root of 3. So we get the square root of 7 being divided by 2 square roots of 3. So I'm going to multiply top and bottom by just square root of 3. So square root of 7 times square root of 3 is square root of 21. We're going to keep the 2. Square roots cancel, so it's going to be 2 times 3. So we're going to have the square root of 21 divided by 6. When you do variables, it's exactly the same thing. I can simplify the x's here, which is really nice because they're both under the square root. So I could rewrite this as like 2 times the square root of 7x over 2x. So those would go away, and we would just have 2 square roots of 7 over the square root of 2. Multiply top and bottom by square root of 2. So we're going to get 2 square roots of 14 divided by 2, which leaves us with the square root of 14 as a final answer. Same thing here. We can simplify the x's first. So we can rewrite that as 5x squared divided by 3x. 5x divided by 3. 2 minus 1 is 1, and that bigger exponent's up top. We could rewrite the square root of 5x divided by square root of 3. We don't want that square root of 3, so multiply top and bottom by it. We have the square root of 15x divided by 3. Do the next 3 on your own piece of paper and check your answers on Schoology. You are done with the notes. After you're finished that, go do your required classwork before you do your mini concept check.